Hello! What's up, chat? It's your boy, back at it again. Been, I think, like a month since the last upload. My bad. Welcome back. We're here. We're making a game. Life updates since the last upload. I got a part-time job as an assistant for a consultation gig, and I think that's all I'm allowed to say about that because I'm under an NDA. I got a full-time gig stocking shelves at Kroger for the graveyard shift, which was 10 p.m. to 6:30 a.m. And then I quit it after 3 weeks because I was miserable and tired all the time and had like no motivation to do anything. Which is part of the reason there hasn't been an upload in like a month. What else? I got really into the Magnus Archives podcast. I'm currently like halfway through season 3. It's really good. Watched the first season of Dungeon Meshi. Also really good. Um, what else? Went to, let's see, my friend Paige had a Halloween party. That was fun. Uh, Different friend, Charlotte, had a Halloween party in Chicago. Got back from that this weekend. That was really fun. Got to see a lot of people from college I haven't gotten to see in a hot minute. I dressed up as Charon, from Hades, maybe Hades 1, because I don't love his Hades 2 design as much. That was cool. That's mainly, oh, I got a library card. Well, I've had a library card, but it's been expired for like 6 years. So I went back to the library and finally got it, redone. So I have a new library card, so I can check out books again. That's fun. I got the Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde because it's been a while since I've read it. I wanted to do that. But yeah, um, so we're back. You might, two things for this video. You might hear my washing machine go off in the background. Oh, my mom got a dog. That was the other thing that happened. There's a dog in the house now. His name's Coda, and he's nervous about literally everything. And we're trying to work through that. I think that's it for real this time. But yeah, so you might hear the laundry machine go off. Also, apparently my mom is expecting a package to be delivered and it needs to be signed. So if there is a pause in this video, is because I heard a knock on the door and I went to go do that. Yeah, we're back. Oliver makes a game. So, recap, because it's been a while. We are making a first-person dungeon crawler, where the main thing is card bait. Combat and exploration is card based. So you walk around, like a normal kind of dungeon crawler, but to interact with like traps and chests and monsters, you have decks of cards that are influenced by the gear you are wearing, such as your weapons and armor. And the other big thing is, in order to get to new rooms, you draft it in a kind of blueprint style, where you enter a room, you pick one of 3 rooms to enter, and each of the rooms have like, different effects and things in them, etc., etc. So, last time I made a sort of order of operations for what we wanted to go forward with, and then I ended up not doing this. But the main things is you want to touch up exploration, you want to make up a mock-up of a run, and then specific stuff, which I think for this we'll probably start getting into Unity, maybe. So I was thinking about this because I was reading through this doc, to make sure I kind of knew what we were doing before I started recording. I think I'm gonna combine these. I think today is mainly gonna be this. I think I'm gonna open Paint and we're kind of gonna go through together and kind of spitball what we want things to look like. So let's open Paint. I should like have this open beforehand, realistically. But yeah. So let's just a little bit. Hey, update Paint. This is new. This is new. What the hell? What's this? Let's get the opacity. What the fuck? Is that there last time? They changed this? What's this? Whoa. Oh, this was here before. I don't think the opacity was here before. That's different. Anyway, sorry. So, we're gonna take this all the way from the beginning, right? So you boot up the game. You're in the title menu. We're gonna go to layers. You're in the title menu. Game name, right? And then you got a little graphic. You got start, you know, like settings, you can exit, right? So this is what happens when you boot the game up. Maybe there's like a continue button or other later. You click start. You click this, and you go to the next one. You go to the next screen. And then this will be like the character select, right? So let's say for start, you're gonna pick, so we'll say classes. We'll put this at the top, like this is the class select screen. And let's say right now you're on the first one, then like the starting one is warrior, right? And so this guy, we'll draw like a little warrior guy. He's got he's got like a little helmet on. And he's got like a shield in one hand, and he's got a sword the other. Yeah, I like this. He's got like a little belt, little diaper, and maybe like a little bag, some shit. Okay, so you'll see him over here. Like this will be the character, and then over here you can look at the deck, I think. So we'll put like the combat deck here. And so the warrior combat deck that you can see is start off with, what do we say? How many cards did we say was the starting deck? Da, 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 da. I swear I wrote this down somewhere. Um, um. Uh-oh. I feel like I said 12 because I was stealing Slay the Spire. Do 10. I want to do 12. Let's do 12. Well, we'll stay with 12. Maybe we'll adjust it later. So 12. So you've got, let's see, like 5. So warrior focus is gonna be okay. So we have this. We'll have like a little blurb over here. So this will be like a little lore blurb about this guy. Lore blurb, and then maybe like up here is kind of the or like here thing, and here is kind of the like summary. So this will be like one or two, like a one sentence or maybe like a couple buzzwords. That's like what this guy's good at, like blocks. Um, head, like blocking, um, etc. I don't know. Easy, cheap and easy. I don't know. All right, like a little blur, like a little summary of Jesus. Summary. There we go. A little blurb about like what this guy does, like gameplay wise. Maybe that should be over here with the gameplay. Maybe that gets moved over here. I don't know. More about that later. But anyway, you see the combat deck here, and for this guy, let's say it is. Uh, one energy. Like designing. Okay, hold on. We're gonna quickly design a card really fast. So here's what I've been picturing the cards look like in my head. Got kind of the name here, name of card. This is the energy cost, which is how much it takes to play the card. I think by base you have 3 energy because it's a nice round number. It's not actually, it's an odd number, but like generally, like rule of 3, it works. In a lot of these games, 3 energy is kind of the baseline. I think 3 energy works. Maybe we'll move away from an energy system, but for right now, I think an energy system works, and it makes things simpler. So, energy cost, name, um, picture, like art, and then effect. So very simple. I don't think anything too complicated needs to be done here, etc. I'm going to turn that off. Back to this. So card, so energy, Kit. It's like a little sword slash. I don't know. X damage. And then you've got 4 of those. No. 5 of those. And you've got block. X. Block. I guess block, shield. I think block works better. Because then, if for classes that aren't using like shield instead of block, you can still do it. Times 5. And then I'll let myself out of room. And then he's got 2 unique cards. I want those to be. Oh. Yeah. We'll figure that out. We don't have to do spirit. I would kind of like to do spirit since it's part of this. And then under this, anyway, is the exploration deck. So remember, the exploration deck and the combat deck. My washing machine. The combat deck and the exploration deck are the same. Or not the same. They are 2 separate entities. They use Beck. Quentin Beck. So this is only going to be 5 cards. And this is going to be... Let's see. 0. Key. This is going terribly wrong. Key. 0. Key. Open. Open. Yeah, key. Yeah, like map. Look at map. Make like jerky, food, heal, and 2 other cards. So I was thinking about this before the video started. I think one of the warriors guys should shoot the helmet because the gear determines the cards, right? So I think it'd be funny if he has a card, like a bash card, where he like headbutts. It's like an alternative to key because I think the key is a one-time use. You can find more keys, but the starting key is a one-time use. But the warrior gets access to bash, where he just headbutts the lock off of something, so he can smash open locks, but he takes damage to do it. I think would be funny. And then I don't know what this is. It's something in his backpack. Or maybe it's his, his pants. He's full pants. This is supposed to be a belt, huh? Utility belt. Maybe he gets like rope or something. I keep saying rope. I've like used rope as an example. I still don't entirely know what you would do with rope. TBH. Yeah. But yeah, let's say it looks like something like this for right now. So this is class select, and then you click like the begin button here. You click this, and then you go to the next screen, which is. So I know we kind of talked about this. So you either pick or randomly assign the level that decides the room pool. Hmm. I like giving the player the ability to. I like the ability to maybe like pick one of three dungeons. So then this can be the dungeon select. It's a dungeon select, right? This is the dungeon select screen where you pick. You'll get offered. There'll be more than three, but you'll be offered three in like a pool. Maybe it's maybe we add enough dungeons because added up to like five or something. Right now, I think three works. You've got, of course, the Trapster's Lair. Trapster's Lair. And you get the Trapster's Lair. You've got Super Swamp. Swamp. And Goblin Town. Goblin Town. And I think this does not show you the rooms, but so I think there would be like, I'm trying to think what's in this square. I think there'll be like a little blurb under it, like kind of like similar to like the warrior, the thing for the warrior, right? Where it was like this bit where it kind of tells you a little bit about it. Well, this will tell you like a little blurb about. Ooh, nope, I'm backwards. Here we go. Oh, not actually. There we go. Kind of what you can expect from each of these. So like Traps' Lair would be like traps, less monster fights maybe, or like traps, uh, hidden loot, uh, shenanigans, right? Or like Super Swamp is like poison, bugs, DOTs. It's DOT instead of poison. Well, like whatever. It's damage over time for the folks who don't know. Like Goblin Town, it'd be like swarm fights, crappy loot, like cheap loot, um, something. I don't know. But yeah, like a little blurb, and then like maybe like a little art, showing off what could be here. Art, or like what this area could look like. But yeah, so you pick one of these. So we'll obviously pick the Trapster's Lair, and then you go in and you start. You start in kind of the central room. I'm gonna go. We're gonna move to a top-down view now. I think for this map bit. So you start here in the kind of foyer, so to speak. So start. Your little guy starts here. There he is. He's here. You enter this room, and then kind of get your bearings, figure out the controls. You can look through your deck again if you need to. Maybe we could have like a little lore codex that you can unlock stuff through, and maybe you flip through that. Once you've gone through it a couple times, you know some of the rooms now. You start here, and you go for it. There's a doorway here, and you pick one of three rooms. So we'll add this. This will be under this. No, it'll be over. So hide this. So when you enter this doorway, you'll be offered one of three rooms. It will look very similar to this set where you got three cards, and it'll have the name of the room. So the name will be here. So it'll be. Trying to figure if I want to do a different slide for like how I want this to look like. Now we'll just do like name. Um, so like layout, I guess is actually how we want this. Layout. And then effect will be down here. So for example, okay, I actually do think I wanna this will go Sure. No. Okay, I'll go there. So it'll be name. Ooh, these are all shitty squares, but yeah. So name. So we'll have like saw room. Trying to remember what the options were that I was coming up with previously. I know Spike Pit was one of them. I remember Spike Pit. And then legit chest room. Legit chest room. Mm. Okay, actually, hold on. We're gonna add a little bit more to this layout. So why I'm gonna add kind of keys. So for this bit specifically. So this will always be kind of at least for these sketches that we're making right now. These will always be. Let's see if it's like shaded. This is on. You can't be here. No. Um, I think like. I'm trying to think because we said previously each room has a specific thing to interact with. There's a chest fight or some third thing. There's once triggered and done. Door spawns next turn. So yeah, we want to symbolize that there's a thing. Um, okay. Okay. Um, Vent symbol can be. Where do we want to put that? Because I don't know if I want to put that in the room. It might be fine. Let me move this down then. Yeah. Vent symbol. Symbol. So, for example, so I think like make another shitty ass sword. So sword is a fight. Why the fuck did I actually make like a good chest? What the fuck? This is actually like what the hell? I actually fucking nailed that. Holy shit. Loot. Or like I got a legit chest. Now do loot. Loot. Um hmm. Um do like mystery, like like a unique thing, maybe like a special room. Um, I'm trying to think of if I want to signify traps or not. Um, or if you kind of have to figure out. I think we'll keep. I think we'll stay with these three for now, and then maybe look on the thing. So, for example, I don't want to do because I'm gonna do the traps just ones up here. So we'll do a separate one. Let's do let's do the Goblin Warrens. So like Goblin. I know that was what I did earlier. Warrens. Uh, Goblin Warrens. So you've got start here. It's like start here. And man, that's no, actually it won't be a start. But so you do there's like holes everywhere. There's the Warrens. There's like a big hill. Warrens. Because goblins are like moles, and they live in hills like this. Um, and then this will be like a fight. sword. I mean, we can like affect how this symbol looks, like the opacity and whatever. Fight the Goblin Warrens. I guess the layout bit doesn't really work. I was thinking to layout it the way they have in blueprints, but because we're not doing like the blueprints, like room connecting style, it doesn't matter as much. Like art. I guess it still kind of works. You can still see how it's like laid out. You can see these hills. You have like a little road. It's I don't know, like little roads and shit. I don't know. And the effect, uh, goblins can call for reinforcements or something. Or like, yeah, like any goblin fights have more goblins. Or something, they reinforcements or whatever. But maybe there's like a good piece of loot in here or something. We don't even have these things. Maybe we remove these. Maybe these are not a thing we do. I don't know. We'll come back to the simple idea. Anyway, back to this. Sorry. So, you got your little tracks that have. Hold on. Come on. I'm gonna do this like this, actually. My phone's buzzing. Yeah, those are sharp legs. Checking my phone. Okay, it's my partner. That's also talking about a Marvel Rivals thing I said them earlier. So you got the saw blade room, you got the spike pit room, which of course. Do here. To kind of differentiate these rooms a little bit. We'll do more. This is a nightmare. Yeah, that's visibly distinct. Spike pit. Spike pit. Look at that. And then the legit chest room is just. I'm gonna copy these chests that I drew. Oh no! Oh shit. Alright, we'll draw a chest again. There you go. When I do that, it's like this, 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 and like this. I'm insane. Legit chest room. And then I'm gonna copy this a bunch because I don't want to draw that a bunch of times. Yeah. There's a bunch of chests, and none of them are mimics because mimics are not real. Legit chest room, and there will be a sign in here that says mimics are not real. Probably not, though. I will tell this. But anyway, you pick one of these, right? So we're gonna pick the spike pit because I like it. Maybe. Yeah. Okay, hold on. Idea, actually, and then use a little chest. Can actually chest here. Say maybe a little chest. So maybe we just put like I don't know. There's a way to make these symbols work. I'm just not sure. We're gonna roll with this for right now. This K is really bothering me with how bad it is. Spike. There we go. Better. Yeah, something like this. So now, copy this. I don't know how this. You picked your room. Back here. Back to this square. You guys remember this? 2 months ago? Spike this. I rotate this. I rotate this. I rotate this. It's not gonna be rotate this. Maybe wait, hold on. There we go. Spike this. There you go. Perfect. Alright, there we go. The spike fit. So you enter this room, your little guy. Make it a little bit bigger so I can move him more effectively. Let me move my guy. Alright. He's gonna walk over here. He's gonna enter the spike room. And he's gonna be like, whoa, spike pit. How do I get across this? Well, let's look at our gear. Exploration deck. I've got a map, I got bash, I've got food, and I've got a key. I have no way to get across this pit. Rats. I will not be able to get over here. Alright, well, let's go back. There's another door, this way. Let's see what happens if I go through here. And then you get a new series of 3. And let's say this time you decide, the legit chest room. You know what? I clearly need loot to get through this. So, let's go to the legit chest room, shall we? And then we go here. Shrink this down. And then I rotate this 180 degrees. And then you go into the legit chest room. And then I take you. And then we go down, 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 down. And now we're in the legit chest room. You're like, whoa, 5 chests. There's got to be good loot in here. You open, you go up. And let's say some chests can be locked, some chests won't. We'll say these first 2 chests are not locked, but they're empty. You don't have anything in there. You open this 3rd chest right here that is also unlocked. That one's a mimic. That triggers a fight. So now we're in the fight phase. So let's do a little fight. So let's see. So for fighting, here, you got your nope, you got your guy. It's you. You'll be on this half of the screen. Or no, this is first person. You'll be here. You can see, maybe you can see like your little sword sticking up and like the top part of your shield right there. Look at that. Your sword and shield, like right there. You're kind of holding it. Wait for it. And there's a big, scary. Something drop mimic. So I'm trying to the chest before. Hold on. The art quality of this mimic does not matter, but now I kind of want to do it just on principle. Holy shit, is he goated? Make that a little bit bigger. He's angry. Like a big old time. I'm kind of goated actually. Holy shit. So now you're fighting the mimic. And we're gonna scoot the mimic back a little bit so I have room to put the cards down. The mimic's over here. And you're fighting the mimic. And you're gonna see he's gonna have like an intent. You're gonna be able to see what he's doing. I'm gonna move him back down a little bit. I just actually just make you a little smaller, I think. Oh, I lost some of your hair. Sorry, my guy. Shrink you a little bit, put you down. Alright. So you'll have like a little intent up here to show like what you're gonna be doing, like whether you're gonna be attacking or blocking or like doing some kind of like effect. And then we'll have trying to think where to put the energy to have it be the most intuitive. In my head, the energy. So okay, we'll have your deck. You just have, so you can hover over that, you can click on it and see what cards are still left in your deck. You got your graveyard, got your kind of hand. I guess the energy can go like here, maybe? Does that make sense? I think that kind of works. You handle like 5 cards. You got 3 energy. And then, let's see, like, I need somewhere to put your HP. HP can go here. And like monster name and HP. Now I'm gonna move like all of the fucking. Yeah, so like the monster name and the HP are like there. Your HP is over here, kind of like under your energy. Maybe flop this. I don't know. The sword and the shield are taking up an unnecessary amount of screen space, so maybe that gets nixed. I don't know. I think this is kind of what combat looks like. Go through. You beat the mimic. Afterwards, you get a little loot screen, or like you can pick up, walk up, loot the body, so to speak. Let's draw that. Let's draw that. I guess we should also maybe draw like what it just looks like walking around. Probably pretty similar to this. So let's just draw like a normal. Put this. Where's the map? Not you. This one. Okay. So this one will be the map. This will be. Let's do this. Combat. 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 Screen. This will be the combat screen. This will be the Expo screen. Expo. Second Expo reference. Holy shit. This will be the exploration screen. I think this will look probably pretty similar. So maybe like you got your shield. And you got your sword. Sticking up. I'm gonna make this sort of look more sword-like. That's not big enough for. Oh, I did something. There. Yeah, your sword and shield. I think maybe I think for the most part, I think you kind of just walk around, and we'll put like a kind of like, I don't know really how to make this look room-like. Yeah, you're in a room. There's like boxes and like a door over here. Box. It's like, I don't know, over here. So it probably work better if I was using different colors, but I'm not. There. That looks awesome. And then I think you should probably still all be able to see your HP, just so you know. HP. You probably still have the deck over here. Just now it's your like exploration deck, your E deck. Oh, combat mana. So your E deck's over here. Like I don't know, escape button in the corner or something. Right, but like some kind of like this is what I'm imagining to some extent. And then obviously in this, it gets a little bit more complex with like other stuff going on. Yeah, because you get the graveyard and stuff. But I think it's still decently simple. I think it gets the point across. So cool. So you successfully done combat, which means now you gotta loot the body. What's this? No. Background. So now you're looting. looting. So you've got. God, I have to try Dead Mimic now. It's like on his back. Um, but yeah, his tongue is sticking out. He's dead. That actually also does not look too bad. I'm kind of proud of myself for all this. And you see the dropped like a little bag, the little baggies of loot. Um, Struck a coil of rope, and he's dropped like like a ring. I don't know, like a potion, a rope, and like a ring. You pick him up, and it's like, okay, there's a health potion. This goes to the expo deck, or I don't know. Yeah, maybe it's both. Yeah, maybe some cards can go into both. Health pot, or maybe you choose. Ooh, that's interesting. We'll come back to that idea. Write that down actually. Um, Deciding if certain items go to explode combat. Alright, that's some food for thought for later. Health potion rope, which is definitely rope. It's expo and then a ring. And the mimic ring. Mimic ring. Um, and you click on this and you hover over it and it shows you it does some effect. Maybe it gives you like enemies draw more gold or something. You don't really have a shop system, so that doesn't make sense at the moment. Maybe it lets you see traps or better something. I don't know. It does something. Right? And you pick this all up, these all get added to your inventory. And then you move out of the looting screen. And you go back to room exploration, which maybe we can open this, but we're just going back to that. So then you open the final chest, and the final chest is locked. You use your key to open it, so you don't have your key anymore. Um, and then you get, I don't know, like we'll do a breastplate. So let's do a chest screen. Chest screen. Chest opening. I'm gonna get really good at drawing chests. Okay, so I think what this looks like in my head. I'm going back up, I guess. So I guess like that doesn't look nearly as good. Huh. You know what? That works. You can kind of tell what that is. Chest opening. So you open the chest, and then loot kind of floats up. And let's say it's like a big chest plate. Um, Big. So you get the loot here. You hover over it. It's got its like name. So loot. And like name slot and then effects. Right? It's like this is like the brawler's chest plate, right? Or like effect slash cards. Or like actually hold on. Cards. Because I think things can have so it doesn't necessarily need an effect and cards. Sometimes it could just be one or the other. Um, but sometimes they might have both, right? So like it can add cards to your deck. It can also potentially have like a passive or active effect. Like maybe this just reduces all damage you take by one, or all, and then also maybe it adds bigger block cards to your deck. Who knows? Not me, that's for sure. But kind of that idea. I feel we kind of wrote somewhere, I think. Can I write it down? Here slots. Yeah, I did write passive effects. I remember. Yeah, here we go. Yes. So body's primarily defensive. Yeah. So cool. And then you get the loot, add it. You'll have like a little inventory that you can check, like a little backpack inventory. Do we want to have a limit to how much stuff you can carry? That's an interesting question. And it also raises another question that I forgot to think about all the way back. Where's the redo character select? Is character select? Yeah. Character select. Characters having passive, like starting with passive abilities. Hmm. Potentially, we could add this. We could add passive. This passive, because I gave him a backpack, so his passive could be he could carry extra items potentially. So maybe there is a limit. I don't know. A system we'll have to think about. Again, a billion systems. Where are we at? This? What time are we at in this video? 30 minutes. Alright, we'll probably wrap up soon. Um, yeah. Backpack limit. Inventory limit? Question mark. I wouldn't be opposed to doing. There's some things like games like Path of Exile or Diablo or even Dredge um, have a kind of Tetrisy style inventory management system where every item is like a specific shape and you've got like a block your inventory. I'll draft this up as well. Right, where you've got your inventory, right, and it is split into a bunch of these single squares. And so every item is a certain square. So like a sword might take up these two squares. It's like a stake, really. There we go. Might take up these two squares, but like a staff, like a weird staff, might take up these squares, right? Or like a breastplate might take up these four squares. Dredge gets a lot more funky with it because they're fish. Uh, but there's room we can work with, right? And something only take up like one square, right? Like a ring only takes up a square. But shit like that. So we could do something like that, and that could be another aspect. That could be something we play with. I don't know how much I'm gonna do with inventory limit. Path of Exile / Dredge style, which I guess I gotta think of what I'm doing for the thumbnail for this video, and it might end up just being Dredge. It's not one game I referenced. Path of Exile / Dredge style stuff. Um, management spacing, potentially something to look into. But that being said, I think for the most part, I like how this is playing out. Do think now, I think we have the blueprints for a game for the most part. I think I have, at least in my head, even if it's not necessarily like written down or drawn up, I kind of know how I want everything to work. I do think now maybe we start doing. I think specifically, I want to design a class and I want to design a dungeon, which is probably going to end up being the Trapster's Lair. Let's be honest here, the Trapster's Lair. My goat, the Trapster's Lair. Um, but I do think we also need. This is actually Trapster's Lair, but we do also need. God damn it. Um, like normal rooms, like rooms that can exist in every dungeon, because I think or rooms that like I think there should be a handful of rooms that can be found in every dungeon as like kind of a standard neutral pool. Just so you have some places to like kind of ground yourself. They can be kind of more generic things. But I think that would not hurt. Um, so class, I don't know how specific I want to give it a class, like, because I don't want any class to just be like warrior or rogue or ranger. I want to have fun with it. Um, so I don't know. I also don't know which one of these I want to do first. I don't know what will be easier to design first. And maybe is it a setting angle? Do we start talking about setting? Because I have an idea for the setting, for like the broad setting, like what's happening in the game, that I can touch on next time. But yeah, overall, pretty happy. Let's. Oh, wait a minute. Let's see. Yeah. Um, uh, Oliver makes a game flowchart. Hopefully I can I, hold on. I gotta make sure, because sometimes depending on how I save this, it might not save all the layers, which would be bad, because I need this to be layered. Um, I'll check that afterwards. I'll worry about that at a different time. You guys aren't gonna worry about that. So yeah, I think we're gonna wrap it up here. Gonna chew on some stuff. Until then, again, I'm gonna try and get another episode out tomorrow. I don't think I'm doing something later tomorrow evening, but that doesn't affect how I record these in like the middle of the day. Um, so it should be good. I will say, potentially, after this video goes up, later tonight or maybe tomorrow morning, I don't know, there might be a second unrelated video going up. I'm not gonna promise anything, but I've been thinking about recording a different kind of video. Um, so I might record that and upload it. I'll see how I'm feeling. It's currently 3:43. I'm going to dinner at like 5:30. So I don't know if it'll be before that, but maybe after that, later in the evening. Anyway, we'll see. There might be a second video up, is what I'm saying, and that one I might actually advertise, which might mean the series gets unintentionally advertised, and I might just have to live with that. But yeah, glad to be back. I forgot actually how much I liked working on this, so I'm glad to be back. Gonna keep working on this because I really like how this is turning out, and I want to do more stuff with it. So yeah, thanks. If you're watching this one, glad to see you back. Sorry about the wait. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope it was worth it. Bye bye.